This is the A Free Spirit Life Podcast, Episode 12. Hi, I'm Shannon Kinney-Duh, creator of AFreeSpiritLife.com, and I am obsessed with inspiring women to discover who they are, to find their purpose in life, and to create and cultivate the courage it takes to follow where it leads you next. Because you know what? Life is too short to live restricted, stuck, and in a place of fear and anxiety and overwhelm. We want to break free. We want to bust free of what's keeping us stuck so that we can live a free-spirited life, so that we can find the ultimate freedom, which always starts within you and then has that amazing ripple effect of possibility in your life. That's what this show is about. In today's episode, we are going to focus on mindfulness. You hear it everywhere these days. I even created the Mindful Mama movement. We are all seeking mindfulness. What is it? What is mindfulness? How can we practice it in our own lives? And how can it help us find inner peace and feel better so that we can truly start enjoying the life we are living right here, right now? So, my friend, how are you today? I am feeling great. I just got back from a 4-day vacation in the North Woods of Wisconsin, visiting family, and it was cold, but it was beautiful. There was snow, there were horses, beautiful trees. We went on a nice walk. We celebrated my mother-in-law's birthday. And we were just surrounded by friends and family, and it was just awesome. What I loved most is that I got to just set aside everything. I completely unplugged, and I played games with the kids, and I really focused on being present. And how often do we get that opportunity, right? I think that's probably why we like the holidays. For those of us who can enjoy the holidays, because I know for a lot of us, it brings up a whole other amazing amount of anxiety and overwhelm. But that's kind of what we're going to talk about today too, is how mindfulness and how the practice of being more present can allow us to even enjoy those seemingly overwhelming times. So, when you think about your dream holiday, is it being more present? Is it playing games with your kids? Is it sitting by the fire, sipping hot cocoa and just relaxing and enjoying your relationships, enjoying being together? Because I know for me, that's what it's all about. And if we're not intentional, if we don't practice mindfulness in our holiday season or in our life in general, we miss it. We get consumed and swept up by that overwhelm. And that's what we're going to talk about today and what's been really on my heart as we enter the holiday season, because the last thing I want to do is miss it and start snapping at the kids and being frustrated when this should be a time of celebration, of wonder, of magic, of peace, love, joy. And you can see it in all the advertisements and in all of the activity that if we're not careful and we say yes to everything, our weekends are packed, our evenings are packed. It just sucks the fun and joy right out of this time of year. And so that is kind of my reminder from the trip. I've been slowly decorating the house. It's been really fun, actually. Usually my husband does most of that. I kind of take everything out and he kind of sets the house. That's kind of his thing. I like to do more of the food and the party planning. But this year I've enjoyed putting the lights out and the candles and just kind of setting up the house early so that we can really enjoy and not think about it as December approaches. And let's talk about mindfulness. Let's talk about this word. There's many definitions of what mindfulness is. And for me, I like to think of it as a state of being. And ultimately, it's a state of being present or being here with what is, with whatever you are facing in your day. You could practice mindful eating as you sit down to have your lunch and you're chewing and swallowing your food. Can you be more mindful? Can you actually taste the food in your mouth? Can you do just that? Can you just eat? Mindfulness can be as you're chopping vegetables while you're making dinner. I like to do that because it kind of lets my mind kind of relax and run free. So it's not about being blank in your mind, but it's allowing the space to happen. It's allowing the presence to be there. When you're chopping vegetables, you're chopping vegetables. Maybe your mind is wandering a little. That's a good thing. Maybe you're in a more relaxed state because this is all you're doing right here, right now, chopping the vegetables. Mindfulness isn't always about doing one thing at a time, but it's about a state of being in the moment and being with what is, whether it's a challenge or a celebration, whether it's something that you label as good or something that you label as bad. It's about being here, not avoiding, not numbing out, not escaping. And mindfulness is really about being okay with uncertainty, about not having to control every outcome that's happening and making everything just so, which takes the practice of letting things be imperfect. It takes an understanding and an acceptance that things aren't always going to happen as you want them to. And it takes a willingness to be vulnerable because there's going to be moments where you feel like, this is making me want to freak out. And that's where we really need to connect to the breath, where we need to be here now, where we need to not completely overreact. And how do we do that? How do we practice this state of being in the present moment in our lives when we feel so much discontentment, when we feel such anxiety or overwhelm or frustration? How do we do it? One way to practice mindfulness, being more intentional and connected to the present moment, is notice when you have thoughts and how those thoughts tend to spiral your feelings or your behaviors out of control. So here's an example. You're sitting down with your cup of coffee, you're starting your day, it's quiet, the kids went off to school, and you're generally feeling pretty okay. You've got your warm cup of coffee, you have the day before you, you've made it, right? You're here right now, you're feeling pretty good. All of a sudden you open an email or receive a phone call that gives you some sort of news that kind of irritates you. Maybe your account has been overdrawn, or your boss is upset with you about something you turned in late, or you get a note from your school principal that your kid's been acting up. And all of a sudden, that content feeling that you just had starts to spiral out of control. Your thought being, oh my gosh, I'm such a failure. Oh my God, here I did it again. I withdrawn my account and now I'm going to have to pay a late fee. And oh, what an idiot I am. God, now I feel terrible. And your thoughts start to think like, I feel horrible right now. My life is just a miserable experience. Whatever the case is, wherever you go, your thoughts tend to talk at you in a negative tone and can easily spiral out into this feeling of discontentment within seconds. And the practice of mindfulness is to stop and reflect on the thoughts that you're having when you start to spiral. So when you get that email from the school principal and you think, oh my God, what has my kid done this time? And where have I failed as a mother? And I am so terrible if I didn't work so much or if I was there for them, on and on, right? Whew, stop, take a breath, and notice what you're thinking. Notice where your thoughts go and see if you could even stop yourself from going there. One practice that I like to teach my students in my courses is, could you stop your thought and say, I don't need to think this thought. You simply stop where it's going. Nope, nope, nope. I don't need to think this thought. And then the practice is, okay, I got this email. Take a breath, take a sip of coffee, call the principal, call the bank, take care of the situation without the emotion attached to it, without emoting, without putting to motion the spiral that's going to knock you off center. So that's what I like to think of mindfulness is kind of this gauge that helps me stay centered. And when I'm feeling like I'm getting knocked off balance, I can stop, I can reflect, and I can notice, okay, have I eaten my lunch today? Did I not get enough sleep right now? Have I had a break from these loud, noisy kids in 24 hours? What is making me feel so triggered? Oh, I haven't done yoga in a while. Oh, I forgot to breathe. I'm feeling really tense in my body. Oh, yeah, I haven't had any protein. Whatever it is, it's that stop, reflect, and check in. And that's what being more mindful, moving at a little bit slower pace, being intentional in the moment does for you. It helps you learn more about who you are and learn what triggers you. And it really helps you redefine your thoughts, those thoughts that keep you stuck, that keep you in a cycle of bad habit, right? The bad habit that says, oh, I'm so terrible. Maybe it throws you into that victim role, or, oh my gosh, I'm such a terrible mom, and it throws you into that guilt role. Or maybe it throws you into these old habits of, oh, I have nothing, your feelings of lack, I can't control my money, I'm terrible, I'm not enough. Whatever it is, that's what we're trying to break free of, because that's what spiritual growth is. It's about learning a new way, doing a new thing, thinking a new thought. And it starts with the choices that you make when you're getting triggered in your life. The practice of mindfulness is really a state of being, and it's a lifestyle choice. So if you already practice eating more mindfully, you sit, you chew your food, you taste it, you swallow it. Well, that's a pretty easier task. I wouldn't say it's totally easy, because what we want to do is reach for our phones, read a book, talk to a friend on the phone. We want to do 10,000 things while we're eating. But if you were to practice in your more peaceful state, mindfulness, mindful eating, or mindful walking, could you just walk at a slower pace and put your phone away when you're walking from the car to work? Can you just look around, look at the sky, breathe in the fresh air, slow down a little bit? Maybe say a mantra like, I'm grateful for my life. I'm happy to be alive. That is the practice of mindfulness in the more easier moments in life, so that when you feel more triggered, when that email comes in, when the bank statement is overdrawn, when your kids are acting up, when you're tired and hungry, when you're getting triggered by a challenge in your life, you have a tool. You can catch yourself before you go to those old habits of numbing, of self-sabotage, of judgment. You can treat yourself more kindly. You can stop those more negative thoughts, and you can think a new, more loving thought. Like, hey, it is what it is. Here I am. I withdrew my account. And you know what? This really is showing me that I need to learn how to budget my money. So I think today on my to-do list, I'm going to write down Create a budget for this month. You're not overreacting. You're not talking negatively to yourself. You're stating what is. You're being a little humble. You're feeling a little vulnerable. You're being kind. And you're taking action. You're taking a more mindful, active approach to your life than letting your life and your thoughts spiral you into that stuck place, right? Because remember what I said, and you know it. We're getting older, people. Life is zooming past us. Our children are growing up. We are aging, and we have dreams. We have the dream. Here's what I think our dream is. You tell me what your dream is. But my dream is to live with more peace and contentment, to be more connected. And how can we do that if we're always at a state of dis-ease? And here's what happens if we can't break free of ourselves from this dis-ease place, from the spiral that we go down. Then when we're feeling content, when we're sitting at our desk with that cup of coffee, feeling generally okay, we think, why is life feeling so good right now? We start seeking and searching for a problem to fix. We start looking for something to go wrong because that feels more natural to us. And that's what keeps us stuck. What if we could instead practice focusing on contentment in your life right now, right here as you hear my words? Take a deep breath. What are you most grateful for in this moment? Can you feel that gratitude in your heart? Can you feel contentment? Can you be okay with whatever is going on in your life in this moment? Can you stop searching and seeking for this future life that you hope you'll create one day? And instead, can you wake up right here, right now, to the life you are living? Ooh, that's a big statement. Can you wake up to the life that you're living right here and now? Because when you allow yourself to be more mindful, when you allow yourself to wake up and become more aware in your own life without letting your thoughts rule your life, you start to see your life in a new, fresh way, with open eyes, with an open heart, with an open mind. And that is a beautiful gift, because then you're not defined by your challenges. You're not defined or stuck by your past. You can look here and now and say, wow, I've survived. Here's where I am in this moment. What can I do right here, right now, today to be more mindful, to be present, to connect to the people that are before me? How can I put my phone down and walk forward making eye contact? How can I open my heart to the people that are different than me, that are struggling in a different way? How can I be of service to this world without sacrificing my own needs? How can I be who I am? How can I live my truth? How can I speak my truth and share my gifts and find the courage to do it? How can I be more mindful and less distracted? These are the questions that I want you to explore this week as you bring a greater state of being to your life. Because you know what? We're really good at the doing. We got the doing down. We move and we push and we force and we make our to-do list. And we try our best to fix our problems, to mold our life into this vision of what we think it should be. And while we're busy doing that, we're missing the life that we should, that we could, that we are living right here, right now. Look around you in your own life. Who is seeking your attention? Who could you help right here in this moment, including yourself? Can you be more intentional in your life with less judgment? That's, to me, what mindfulness is. It is a pathway to peace, to inner peace and contentment. And when you feel more inner peace and contentment, your entire life perspective changes. Possibilities start to open. The things that you thought were challenges or walls start to be opportunities for growth, and you even start to be grateful for them. It's amazing what happens when you change your shift in perspective, when you stop those spiraling thoughts and think a new thought. I do not need to think this thought. I do not have to go so fast. I don't have to do so much at once. So as we're talking about moving into the holiday season, what can you say no to? I love holiday parties. I love sending out cards. I love everything about it, but there's no way I can do it all. I have 3 kids to take care of. I have a family. I have friends that I want to nurture. I have myself and my own health and wellness to look after too. I can't do it all. So what can I do? I can simplify my schedule. I can say no to some of the parties that I've been asked to go to. I can limit our evening activities after school so that my kids get more sleep and just have an overall better day at school. I can eliminate a lot of sugar or crappy food, and I can also enjoy some of that sweet stuff from time to time. What is it for me? What is going to be different than what it is for you? But here's the time to reflect. So take out your journal or think about what we've talked about today and think about your own life. How can you be more mindful today? How can you be more spontaneous in your life without trying to control everything and pay attention in a more intentional way? You're chewing your food. You're walking to work. You're looking at the blue sky. You're breathing. You're listening to my words. Pay more attention to the life that you are waking up to in this moment. Without judgment, with complete self-compassion, love, and kindness. And when you do, you will stop missing the simple, everyday moments that are so meaningful in your life. This is what life is. It's not your future vision of what you hope your life will be. Your life is right here, right now. How can you enjoy the simple, everyday moments in your life and walk forward with more peace and contentment? That's the practice of mindfulness. If you continue looking out there for your happiness, your life will continue to slip away. Start to look at your life from within. Stop and reflect on those thoughts. Notice how you feel, and then pause and allow yourself to think a new thought. Don't spiral out of control, but rather remember this. Every day, in every way, you are in charge of your destiny. You are in charge of your life. You can make a change. And it starts when you are unclouded by your thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are keeping you stuck. It starts when you gain a greater awareness of who you are, why you're here, and how you can continue to grow from the life that you are living. It starts when you practice mindfulness. If you have any questions, email me, Shannon@afreespiritlife.com, and connect with me. I love hearing from you. Be well, my friends. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. If you'd like to share in the discussion or connect with me in a deeper way, visit Facebook and join our A Free Spirit Life community in Facebook groups. You can also go directly to my website, afreespiritlife.com/12. That's the number of this episode, and you'll see the show notes. I'm also going to share some of my favorite mindfulness books that you might want to check out, as well as a link to a free guided meditation that will help you feel more connected to your body and more at peace with who you are. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye. Let's go.